Great day, attractive thinker. Dr. Tony Hatton here, your identity coach and get to the root specialist at the Attractive Thinker Guru. I am delighted to be back here with you. We have such a fantastic and amazing guest speaker to share with you her journey, her entrepreneurial journey. So you know how we roll. Have your Attractive Thinker notebook and pen handy to capture these gems. Welcome to the Attractive Thinker Mental Health TV, Tiffany Renee.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony, for that warm welcome. Super thankful to share this platform with you and your audience.
Awesome. Attractive thinkers, just get ready. That's all I can say. Tiffany is fantastic and amazing. And I want you to also remember to get your free gift. Grab your free gift at the Attractive Thinker Guru, because we have some mental tools and resources there for mental healing, mental strength, and mindset maintenance. You don't want to forget that. Tiffany Renee, I want you to pay close attention here. She's a serial entrepreneur and Temple University alumni. And she started her financial services journey after realizing that so many people she personally knew struggled with credit and financial management. These struggles have impacted so many families and have weighed heavily on contributing factors towards mental health issues. She watched so many people get denied home ownership, cars, jobs, and peace of mind simply because of financial challenges. And she decided to step up and be a solution and a voice in her community. She now teaches the basics of financial management principles through a platform of services that have changed the financial trajectory of thousands of families. Tiffany, talk to us today. Tiffany Renee, attractive thinkers, what we're going to be talking about today specifically is time, freedom, and getting your sanity back. Talk to us today, Tiffany Renee.
Wow, I just want to say, thank you so much again, Dr. Tony. Time freedom definitely contributes to your sanity. I remember prior to me becoming a full-time entrepreneur, I went to college, graduated from college. I was always told that we're supposed to work and work and work and work, no matter how long it takes. We're supposed to just work until we're 65, 70 years old into retirement. And so earlier on in my journey of just being an adult, I worked 3 jobs in college. I hardly enjoyed my college experience because all I did was work. I was always just trying to make money, just chasing the dollar. Also, while I was in college, I was also a fashion designer, where on the side I made clothes for my local friends. I also did, dresses for bar mitzvahs. I did weddings and so forth. And it was a hobby type of thing. I went on to graduate from college, started working in corporate America for a staffing agency where I was helping people to find jobs. And it was in that job specifically that I realized that something's got to give, because this isn't life. And what do I mean when I say that? Well, for that staffing agency, I was required to make at least 100 calls per day just to book an appointment with a hiring manager, so that we can pitch our services for job placement. If you did not successfully make those calls for the day, you were required to stay later, or sometimes your job was at jeopardy. So just imagine, that pressure of, I got to make all these calls and I got to book this amount of meetings and I have to set these appointments in order for me to maintain my job. It was stressful. And I was like, man, this is life. Like, this is what the job force is like. I actually did pretty good at it, and so I was transferred from Philadelphia with that job to South Florida. And 6 months after my transfer, I was actually laid off. Not only was I laid off, they took my severance pay away. And I really went into a depression because at the time I was in my early 20s and I left my entire family. Like, could you imagine a job offering you a position to go relocate thousands of miles away? You have no friends in that area, no relatives, just one family friend I had locally, and that was it. I left everything, my relationship, everything for this job to 6 months later, lay me off, and I'm trying to figure it out. And so I was jumping around job to job, very unstable at that point in my life, very, very young and in a new environment. And I know that a lot of people, they would crumble. A lot of people would go back home. You know, a lot of people would feel like they failed. But I use that as my stepping stone of I got something to prove. You know, someone saw enough in me to pay for my relocation. I didn't do well at that task, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a phenomenal person that can help lead a business, because at the time my task was to grow a new market center in a new territory. So I knew that there was some belief in me from a third party, but I just had to find that belief in myself to persevere. And so obviously I had to secure some income because, you know, I was stuck. You know, I faced an eviction. After that, you know, I was, you know, dealing with bills getting paid late because I didn't have, you know, the money to maintain myself. And I was just trying to figure it out. So I got into bartending, waitressing, and I wasn't new in that industry. In college, that is something that I did to secure additional funds. So I got into bartending, waitressing, where I was working at least 12 hours, you know, but it paid off. Actually, it paid off more than a regular job did. But it was tiresome, working long hours, overnights. You know, at the job that I had as a waitress, we had to wear high heels. So imagine working 12 hours in heels. We couldn't sit down for a lunch break. We didn't have much privacy. When it came to, okay, we wanted to use the restroom. Even our restroom breaks were timed. And I was like, this can't be life. You know, this can't be life. Like, I need freedom. I need my time to myself. I need my sanity back. I'm tired of chasing the dollar. What else can I do? You know, and as a bartender waitress, you know, I went back and revisited my entrepreneurship. I started a fashion business. I found a local seamstress that had a factory in Hialeah, and together we worked to put together fashion productions. I did several rounds of that. It cost me thousands of dollars, and I was able to fund that as a bartender waitress. But I failed at that because as much as it cost me, I didn't sell enough to profit. I knew nothing about that side of business. And again, that would send someone into depression. Like, man, I failed on my job. I got fired. I invested all my tips into starting a fashion business, kind of failed at that. I have over 500 dresses that I still lug around with me to this day in my storage unit that have not sold. Just a reminder as to where I came from. People might say, you're hoarding it. It's okay. It's a reminder of where I came from. And so I was like, what can I do? How can I fund this fashion business? And so I looked around and I said, oh, wow, you know, I live in South Florida. The real estate is expensive here. You know, it must be really good to be a realtor. So I got my real estate license and I thought I made it. Well, guess what? Real estate's not easy, because in real estate, you need people that qualify. A lot of people, they want to buy a house. They don't qualify. Why is that? Maybe it's their credit. Maybe it's their debt against their income. Maybe it's not having enough money saved. Maybe it's not making enough. And so here I am. I thought I had a breakthrough to get back into this fashion business. But even then, I had yet another hurdle. And it came down to personal financial management. And at the job that I worked at, you know, a lot of people came in and they were stressed out. And I was like, I don't understand. You have a great income. It looks like you drive a nice car, but why are you so stressed out? And it came down to a lot of people are stressed out because of financials. You can make a lot of money and don't have any time freedom. You can make a lot of money and spend all of it. You know, you got people that are going through divorces that come out to have several cocktails just to like, you know, release their frustrations. Why? Because it all comes out to money. And I was like, man, financial literacy is something that's lacking, you know, in this community, in our country. And a young lady, she approached me with the entrepreneurial opportunity that I've taken on to date. She approached me with the idea. And when she approached me with the idea, I took it because I was failing in real estate, didn't want to be didn't want to be in the hospitality business, wanted to grow my fashion business. So I took a stab at the opportunity. And honestly, the opportunity that I took to help others really understand what it takes to really have ownership of their personal financial management, have ownership of their time, have ownership of their income, have ownership of themselves, have confidence within themselves, has definitely shaped me to the entrepreneur that I am today, where now I teach people how to get through these hurdles because I've been through it all. So that's my journey, Dr. Tony. So I just want to give it over to you so, we can dive into, some deeper subjects just from that story.
Listening to you talk, Tiffany Renee, and share your story, I can see how I can see where your passion came from for, helping your clients with financial freedom and financial literacy and with their credit management. I can see that your journey also. See, a lot of times, attractive thinkers, when we experience things in life, we take it personal. But I can see, a bigger picture, Tiffany, as you began to share your story. I could see the bigger picture was, a part of it was your passion. It was driving you in a certain direction. And I can see how now you're so passionate and driven to help other people with this piece called financial literacy, because a lot of the challenges that you mentioned, not just that you experience, but that you are aware of based on your experience in working with others, it goes back to financial literacy. It goes back to financial issues. So what you're saying is having financial issues can lead to divorce, can lead to relationship issues, can lead to mental health issues, can lead to be a determining factor whether a person, fully expresses themselves in the world. You mentioned time freedom and money freedom and getting your sanity back. And all of those are really the basic life needs, really, and the essence of who we are. And if we cannot acquire or experience our basic needs being met, that can really play on the essence of who we are, and it affects everything that we do. So attractive thinkers, I trust that you're getting this piece, because new and aspiring entrepreneurs, when they think about starting a business, or they're taking these action steps, they're focusing on getting the website up, making sure that's right, and they're focusing on making sure the business card, every little word on the business card is where it should be, and if the colors are right and the logo is right, and they're focusing on all of these other things, but they're not too excited about moving into the financial piece, like how to price your products and services, how to market them, how to stand up for them and speak, about your prices, and share, make it known. In working with entrepreneurs, I understand that a lot of entrepreneurs have different emotional approaches when it comes down to money, but you're going into business to make money. So you can see how that can be a big block, a big hindrance. I love when you said that financial literacy is not it's not that conversation piece is not on the table. It's not as common as it should be. So when you mention financial literacy, break that down and share with the attractive thinkers, what is it actually that you're talking about when you say financial literacy, because that could mean a lot of things to a lot of different people.
Wonderful.
And why is that important in business? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, absolutely. I just got to take it back a little bit, if you don't mind. When we grow up, right, we are conditioned to be institutionalized. Think about it. When your children are attending elementary school, they most likely have to wear a uniform. There's a certain amount of time they have to spend in school. They're sent home with homework. And throughout K through 12, you are learned that you have to work for someone else. You're learned that possibly you lose your identity because you are required to be in this uniform. Even the way that you learned is structured that everyone learns in the same exact way, irregardless of the strengths and weaknesses of every unique individual child, right? And so we grow up with this lack of confidence that we can even be our own entrepreneurs, that we can have a successful business, that we can actually, go out and really break generational curses over our families. Why? Because from childhood, we're brainwashed that we are to operate in a system like cattle in a line, right? And so when you talk to children about what they want to be when they grow up, rarely do you hear children say, I want to be a business owner. I want to own my own shop. I want to own my own hair studio. I want to own my own school. Like, you never hear ownership because from childhood, we were never taught ownership. Okay. We were never taught, our names being the legacy. When we get into high school, right, they have us seeking internships for big companies, and we're starting to learn how important it is to work for this big name, but we're never taught to be our own big name. And where the system fails us is that when it's time for us to start exploring college opportunities, they don't talk to us about college, the financial responsibility that pertains to college. When I'm talking about when it comes to taking out student loans, when it comes to understanding interests that are acquired through those student loans. And so now we have children going into college because we were taught that that was like the only way that we could actually be successful. And then we get into college in debt. We get into college, okay, we do business. I was a business major. We're taking courses like accounting, macro and microeconomics. We're taking finance, right? But no one ever had a course on personal financial management. If you're in business school, they never require entrepreneurship to be a mandated class, because they teach us how to work for people, but they don't teach us how to be entrepreneurs for ourselves. And so what happens is, when we get the bright idea that, hey, actually, I don't really want to work for anyone, I really want to be my own boss, we have no idea where to start. And by the time we graduate college and we get a few years of experience in the field, we realize that working for someone is not what we really want to do. Working for someone doesn't allow us to be creative, doesn't allow us to be ourselves. Oftentimes we have great ideas that can take a company to the next level, but they won't hear us because we're too young into the industry. And at that time that we figure that out, guess what? We don't have the personal financial resources to be able to explore that. And so when I talk about financial literacy, I'm talking about topics that aren't taught to us, like budgeting. What's a budget? Are we overspending? Even when you're in college, you have a cash card to buy things from the school or from the cafeteria. We're not taught to even budget that out. We're not taught to save. No one teaches us that, listen, we got to save for the interest rates that we are about to accrue in the event that we have student loans that do not have deferred interest. We're not taught that while we have our jobs in college to make sure that we're putting some money on our student loans. They just say pay them once you graduate. And then they allow you to take out, deferments, for about 7-8 years. And then you look up and you're like, man, I have no more deferments left. I have no more forbearance left. And now I got more bills than income.
So true.
And because of that, we don't have the resources to start a business. But what about those that don't go to college? There's nothing in the community that's showing us the blueprint of, okay, this is what your business needs. You need this much money saved. This is what marketing is going to cost. This is what branding is going to cost. This is how much it's going to cost you to incorporate. And also, you need to have your business registered. You also need a registered agent. Like, these courses are not taught to us in communities, and that needs to be taught to us when we're in high school.
Yes.
And so so with my platform, what it is that we teach budgeting. Not only do we teach, we equip our people with a budgeting tool that helps them track and monitor how they budget. We have a savings tool where you can set goals. What is it that you're saving for? What does that business need? Have you itemized every expense that is required for you to get that business off the ground? And are you saving towards that? We have a debt payoff tool. Do you understand your debt and how that impacts you? Because if you're looking to get a business loan, you need to make sure that you can manage your debt and that you don't have a lot of debt, because this business is going to cost you to be in debt until it's in profit. We have a tool for that. We have a tool that helps people fix their credit, because before you have business credit, when you're opening new lines of business credit, it is backed by your personal credit. So cleaning up the personal credit is so important. We offer those resources. What about identity protection? So many people are in financial hardships, even entrepreneurs, because they don't have their identity protected. So they go and open up these accounts and things and don't preserve their identity from the masses, from the black market. And then we also have a will and trust. Are you protecting the legacy of your business, of your assets? And so these are the things that we teach. And we also teach people preservation of how to maintain, their personal finance and their credit. And by teaching them these things personally, it'll help them survive a business, because most businesses don't last past 5 years. They don't.
Tiffany Renee, you talked about a lot, and I have 3 points that I would like to highlight, but our topic is time freedom, get your sanity back. Talk to our audience about how not having time freedom can play a role in your sanity, because we hear these things, but a lot of times if we don't really understand what this means, or we're not identifying it as such, we are not making a connection. We could be functioning in this, what do you call it? Insane daily routine and not even know it. We're getting nowhere fast. So what does that look like? Why is not having your time freedom affecting your sanity?
That's a great question. So not having your time freedom is like being in prison. And I say that because how often does our audience, attractive thinkers, want to do something and they have to respond with, I don't have the time. No one excitingly says, I don't have the time. Whenever someone says, I can't do that because I don't have enough time, their tonality changes.
Yes.
It hurts them that they don't have the time.
My God.
Right? I've never heard someone say, I'm so excited, I don't have the time. No, people want to do things they want to do, or they say, I wish there was more than 24 hours in a day, right? And when you start to chase this rabbit of never having enough time to go on vacation with your family, being denied vacation with your family, being denied birthday parties, being denied even going to a family funeral because your job owns your time, right? That sends someone into a depressive state. What about their people that have children at home? The children deserve your time. But if you're working 50, 60 hours a week and your child spends all their time with someone else, do you realize that you can't get that time back? And now that has psychologically impacted your child growing up because they don't really know you.
Yes. Yes.
What about your spouse at home? That's why there's a lot of people that have these work husbands and work wives and work relationships, because you spend more time there than you do having the freedom to enjoy the person you love at home. And all of these things start to break down on our psyche. And we get into a system where we're rushing, and we have anxiety. Sometimes people are getting prescribed for things that is unnecessary, and it all comes down to just having time to themselves. And before we look up, we're 40, 50, 60 years old, realizing that life passed us by. And did we live life, or did we just exist in life? And oftentimes people are just existing because they allow their time to be controlled by other elements and other things and other people, that they've lost themselves to the system that has compromised their sanity without them even realizing it.
I like what you said, lost yourself to the system. Wow. Attractive thinkers, write that down in your attractive thinker notebook. Lost yourself to the system. The system is real. The system is real. And I'm highlighting these things because I want us to know, I want the attractive thinker generation to know that this is real. The system is real. Tiffany Renee, it's possible to live under a system and not even know it. You're functioning at your highest, best self in a system. It's just like being on a boat. The whole boat is going down and you think you're special, but you don't realize you're going down with the boat. You think you're different from the other people in the boat. Go ahead.
And that's interesting that you said that, because you have two choices in life. You can sell your freedom or you can buy your freedom. I'm gonna say it again, guys. You can sell your freedom or you can buy your freedom. How do you sell your freedom? Allowing other external things control your time. You having no control over when you wake up, when you have lunch, when you go to the bathroom, when you vacation, how long you can vacation, when you can go to that family reunion, if you can go to that birthday party, if you can attend your child's basketball game or dance recital. All of those things are sold to the system, and you allow the system to control that until you retire. However, you have the option to buy your freedom. How do you buy your freedom? You buy your freedom through entrepreneurship by creating a system of leverage. When you have a system of leverage, that is when you have other contributing factors that can help you earn enough income so that you have the time to go do all the things that you couldn't do when someone else controlled it. Buying your freedom is investing in things that's going to produce you residual income, passive income. That is the difference. So there's two choices. You can sell it or you can buy it. Now, in entrepreneurship, when you're first starting out, I'm going to be honest with you. You sell your freedom to your dream, and it's okay to be there. But when you do that, you start putting together a system so that you have leverage. Leverage comes from other people that are really good in different pieces or components of your business that help you get your time back.
Well said. Well said. Tiffany Renee, you talked about we were not taught financial freedom, financial management in school. They didn't teach it. So when I heard you say that, I thought about the challenge of the entrepreneur. If we haven't been taught financial freedom, and entrepreneurship is about, a large portion of it is about handling finances, I thought about another challenge that comes with that challenge. Most people have a problem seeking support and help. If we weren't taught financial freedom, and entrepreneurship is about finances, where do we get the support? You're going to need support in order to manage these finances and, master this game called money. But if you have a challenge, if there's a block that comes up about getting support, and you've never hired a coach before, you don't know what that looks like, and you can't even muster the courage to make the call to even get on a free consultation to consider having a coach, then there's a wall there, not just a brick or a block. There's an entire wall there that's preventing entrepreneurial success. So that's a challenge. Have you ever experienced that with people who wanted to reach these goals, but struggled to invest in support like a coach?
That's a really good question. And, we live in an incredible time of technology because, guys, through technology, you can have a virtual coach and never invest $1 into that virtual coach. What do I mean by that? There are a lot of social media influencers that freely give out information every single day on social media. And it's very important that you are protecting your subconscious environments. It's very important that instead of listening to the radio, which has garbage, you're listening to podcasts of people that inspire you, people that are influential. It's important to engage with apps like Clubhouse, where there's a host of conversations with industry leaders you'll find them specific to what your interest is. Then you can follow them on their social media pages, and 9 times out of 10, they have a plethora of content, a plethora of free live trainings, a plethora of resources to really help you bridge that gap between what you don't know and what you do know. And it's as simple as plugging in keywords on Google or hashtags on social media to start to figure out who are these influential people. And go look at who they follow, because these highly influential individuals, I guarantee you, have a list of people that they follow that influence, inspire, and motivate them. And that's how you build your social community of people that are influential. And then you'll start to learn about these e-courses or e-books that they're selling. And oftentimes they're not too expensive. They might be under $100 unless there's a big convention. But you got to invest in yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I have quite a few virtual coaches that are outside of my business that I learn from on a daily basis. I have, some coaches that meditate at 8 o'clock in the morning. They open up their live. There's about 2,000 people that just jump on a live to either meditate, to get inspired, to get motivated. These people exist for free.
Yeah.
And as you're growing through this journey, you have to delete the accounts that expose you to garbage. You have to delete the people that don't add value to your life.
Yeah.
Look in your community. Have you seen a local shop that's been there since your grandparents were in their 20s and 30s? Hey, do you mind if I shadow you? Do you have some time to take me under your wing just to learn some basic business fundamentals? Because it seems like you've been able to stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
People that are having success love to help others have success, because you get to a point of success when it's no longer about you, it's about who you can help. And people get more rewards out of helping others duplicate what they've been able to do. Trust me, when there gets to a point where the money is irrelevant, it's how can I help this person have success? And I'm telling you, it's more fulfilling than life itself.
That right there, what you said, Tiffany Renee, you get to a place in your entrepreneurial journey, whereas it's not so much about the money as it is about those that you're here to serve and help. Now, as a new and aspiring entrepreneur, years ago, I've been at this for like 20 some years. So, becoming an author, I was like you, I was a seamstress making dresses for weddings and proms and things like that. I had a manufacturing business where I was selling electronics and held all kinds of jobs. I even partnered with the school system and had this phone system that would contact the homes if the student didn't show up for school, and they would send information to the house about upcoming events and things like that. I always had my hand in something concerning entrepreneurship because it was just that creative side of me. I just felt like I should be expressing more of myself in the world. As an author, speaker, coach, and a vocal artist now, I can understand and relate. When I look back, because hindsight is always 2020. When I look back on my entrepreneurial journey and how things played out, I understand clearly that not only was it a journey, it's a process. Today, people want these overnight successes and they want to be a millionaire overnight. But this is what I've understood, Tiffany. Money without meaning equals misery. You can have the money, but if you don't have the foundation to support that money, when I say foundation, your inner game tight, knowing who you are, who you're here to serve, knowing what matters to you, what means something, knowing what fulfills you. Because if you don't know what fills you up, you'll be still at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, still trying to find yourself and trying all of these things that aren't working and sabotaging your business and your heart and your spirit. Having these founded. Now, we talk about the journey and you share your journey, and some attractive thinkers may say, well, I don't want to go through that, or that's my thing. I know it's going to be hard and I don't like struggling and I don't want to. But if you look at it differently, if you shift your perspective and you look at, for example, Tiffany's story, Tiffany Renee, and you look at my story, as an entrepreneur, I didn't have a model, Tiffany. I didn't have entrepreneurs in my family. It was just a spirit that I had. All the jobs that I've had, even since I was 14 years old, was at banks. Money was always flowing through my hands. I would settle ATM machines. I would process payments for leased vehicles. Money was always traveling through my hands. And there came a point that the whole time I was sitting there at these banks processing these payments, because I was really good with numbers, the whole time I'm sitting there, I keep hearing this voice say what I could be doing with these 8 hours. If I had my time freedom back, because I was looking at what I was doing for the company with the 8 hours, how sharp I was, how quick I was, how a master I was at numbers, and how I was always managing my time. I would get things done quickly and efficiently. And I was thinking, I kept hearing this voice saying what I could be doing with my 8 hours if they were mine, if I had my time freedom. That's an entrepreneurial spirit that speaks, whether you, now again, I had never been an entrepreneur. I never was around entrepreneurs, but there was something inside Attractive Thinker. And that's what I want to share and highlight with you. There's something inside that knows. You may not know, but there's something inside that knows. And that's why it's so important to listen to that inner voice. Like I said, you can have all the money in the world, but if you can't hear that inner voice, you're lost. You're still lost. So that entrepreneurial journey and processing all of that and getting me to where I am now. I hosted radio for Radio One. That was just an opportunity that showed up, like yourself, Tiffany. You've had opportunities that showed up along the way that you didn't even anticipate. That's the beautiful part about this entrepreneurial journey. And I'm saying that because so many entrepreneurs sit and try to figure it all out before they move. The blessings that God has for your path, that he has for you, are on your path as you go, and sitting trying to figure it out and write it all out and map it all out. You can't even fathom. It will never even cross your mind the things that are in store for you up ahead. They will reveal themselves to you as you go. Entrepreneurship is a beautiful journey, Tiffany. And I always say, to me personally, it is the greatest personal growth and development experience on the planet. You can't get any deeper than this, because it makes you come out of yourself. It reveals who you are. It shows you things, beautiful, incredible things about yourself that you never even considered. This entrepreneurial journey is about more than just money. This time freedom piece, it's endless. You can't even imagine what you're capable of doing with your time until you get it back. Back to you, Tiffany Renee.
I mean, great points, Dr. Tony. And going back to that point about digging deeper, when you are starting your entrepreneurial journey, is very important. I coach my new entrepreneurs on this, is discovering your why. Mm-hmm. If your why don't make you cry, you're not ready yet. If your why don't make you cry, you're not going to give your business your all. If your why don't have a powerful purpose behind it, you're going to fail right on your face in business. Yes. Being a millionaire means nothing. Honestly, that's not no money. Once you become a millionaire, you're going to realize that there's billionaires and trillionaires. Like, when does it stop? Numbers never stop. So it's not about becoming a millionaire. It's about discovering, why do I want this business? What is this business going to do for me and my family? How is this business going to fulfill me? And most importantly, what problem does this business solve? Because if you don't have a business that is a resolution for people, where is that business going to go? You got to identify these things. You touched on people that don't do anything. I just want to let you know something. Indecision delays success. Success is never for the chosen few. It's for the few that choose. And you also touched on personal development. Guys, you never stop being a student. You never know too much. You never got it all. You never have more than enough. You got to always be personally developing. What does that mean? That means reading books that teach you how to grow in your mind, how to grow in your thought process, how to respond to adversities, how to respond to failures, how to engage with people, how to interact with people, how to be an effective problem solver. Like, there are books out there that teach you these things, and you have to put it on your schedule to personally develop. And beyond the books, even if you go on YouTube and you type business motivation, just listening to a 3-minute motivational a segment on YouTube is going to help you with your own personal development. Because who I am today is not who I was when I first started this journey. And I still have yet to meet the person I'm going to be when I get to these next levels, because there's always levels to this.
Yes.
Also, there's a thing called law of attraction. You have to put yourself in environments around those that are having the success that you desire to have. If you're constantly just around your friends and your friends aren't doing anything remotely close to where you want to be, or the direction you want to go, or don't share the enthusiasm of your vision, you got to get around those that are. There's plenty of that. There's networking opportunities. Go on Eventbrite. Find those business networking opportunities. Go out for happy hours. There's always conventions in major cities that connect business people. Be intentional about seeking out these people. And when you go, don't be a fly on the wall. When you go, make a connection. Find people to add to your social media content. Every single day, you should be adding new friends on your social media that can inspire you, influence you, or motivate you, or promote your business. And so these are the things that I think can help with someone. And you said something interesting. You worked at a bank and you touched a lot of money, but it was for someone else. That's because money is in rotation. Money is energy. Energy never dies. Energy just keeps going and going. It gets recharged and it keeps going. Like, the money is here. Yeah. Forget the money. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? What is this going to do for you? How's it going to change your family? And how can you help someone else? Because you can't do it alone.
That's right. You cannot do it alone, attractive thinker. One of the things we talked about, during our time together today is about investing in yourself. You are the product, attractive thinker. And the more you invest in you, the more you grow, the more your business grows. Because I always say you and your business are one. If you're not healthy, your business is not healthy. If you have a headache, your business has a headache. If you're hesitating and you're dealing with all of this inner turmoil, so is your business. It's showing up in your business. You and your business are one. If you treat life like a hobby, you're treating your business like a hobby. You and your business are one. So what I'm saying is, when you invest in you, you're investing in your business. Don't pour everything into these business cards and websites and this color and logo and all of that, and don't invest in yourself. Like Tiffany Renee said, what is your why? Who are you? Why are you doing what you're doing? What is your driving force? What is your product? Why do you want to market this product? Who are you helping? Why do you care about the problems that they have, these customers and clients? All of that is business. All of that is entrepreneurship. And it's a beautiful journey when you embrace it, like you said, Tiffany Renee, instead of treating it like a hobby. Though, I believe the only reason why a person would treat a business like a hobby is because they aren't fully invested in it. They're not all in. Tiffany, you shared something with me about your disciplines. Share that, please, because to have these disciplines in place, you can't possibly be treating your business like a hobby. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely, Dr. Tony. And so it's funny that you say that, because when I first started out with this journey in the financial space, I treat it like a hobby. I said, oh, if I find someone that wants to fix their credit, I'll just, send them a link and they'll sign up. And, it was very passive because I was making good income in my hospitality industry, that I just didn't take it seriously. But sometimes it takes for life to corner you, to sit you on your butt, to really have you on your back. Like, okay, now what? What am I going to do? And why do I say that? Well, we just had a pandemic. We're still in a pandemic, right? And in the pandemic, everything shut down. We couldn't go outside. And at the time, my bread and butter was the hospitality industry. And so I got a phone call that said, hey, we're shut indefinitely. I said, okay, now what? What am I going to do? Like, where is this cash that touch my hands every day? Where is it going to come from? And I was like, well, I'm going to go crazy. Like, after a week of staying in the house, you're scared to go to the supermarket. You're scared to go outside to even breathe the air. Like, what do you do? So I said, I got to make this fun. I got to make this fun. I got to get serious. I have something in the palm of my hands that I can run virtually, leveraging social media. I got to get more serious. And so what I did was I showed up every day like I had a job. I would set my alarm clock. I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm home. And I didn't just dress like this because I had this interview today. I do this every day. Because every day I need to be camera ready. If someone wants to talk to me about my business, I need to be able to jump on a camera and let them know that I'm a real person. And so, listen, guys, when you run a home-based business or you're running your business, you have to look like the business that you want to attract. If you're just laying around in your house clothes and your sweatpants and your hoodie, guess what? You're going to get too comfortable and lazy, and your business is not going to go anywhere. We're talking about growth. You have to be disciplined. And also, what I realized is that, and sorry if I'm jumping around, when people first start out in entrepreneurship and you give them a whole 6 months of lockdown, right? They got all this time freedom. You got people that'll sleep 12 hours of the day. You got people that show up for the day. I had to show up for the day. I had to balance out my schedule. What am I doing from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed? What does every hour look like for me? How long is my lunch break going to be? Even though I didn't have a boss telling me how long of a break I could have in between time, how long my bathroom breaks could be, my lunch break, or when I could check out of work, I had to create that schedule for myself. And I run that schedule so tight that if I don't abide by the schedule, in my mind, I feel like I'm going to lose my job. Well, I'm going to lose my business.
Mm.
I'm my own boss, and I write my own yellow slips and pink slips. And when I have weeks that I don't perform where I should perform, I don't reward myself with going out with my friends. I tell my friends, listen, I can't go out this week because I didn't hit my goals. I did not travel for a full year because I did not reach my goals. I am a habitual traveler. I said, I'm not traveling until I get to this goal. That's a discipline that I have. And beyond that, guys, you got to take care of your health. Okay. Because having a business can be very stressful, and that can lead you to eat things that are unhealthy. That can lead you to drink more than you should. That can lead you to snacking all the time, but you really got to have a clean temple. Okay. You got to eat things that don't weigh you down. You got to really study foods, like what influences these neurological changes in my brain. Does it make me depressed? Does it make me tired? Does it give me energy? Does it make me excited? Like, things you put into your body influence how you respond to life. And also, you have to take the time to work out. Every single person that I know that is successful, they have at least 30 minutes to an hour embedded in their schedule, no matter what. Because as you are becoming an entrepreneur, even in entrepreneurship, you got to release the tension. You got to release the stress. You got to get your heart rate pumping. All of these things have to be included in your schedule, and you have to be disciplined to that. Because when you deviate from that, your business falls apart.
That's good. That's good. You have to see now. You gave a different explanation for working out and exercise. It's not, you didn't mention being fit and cute and hot. You said releasing stress. You talked about tension and pressure. See, that's mental health there. Exercise. I have clients that exercise for mental health. You know, they were heavily depressed. It was like this cycle of depression. And I have even a client that came to me because all she did was sleep all day, and her husband couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And we had to, like you said, we had to change some things about her lifestyle and about what she was eating, because food is energy. Food is energy. And you like you said, you got to pay, when you pay attention to your body, you know what that food is doing to your body. You know whether that food is increasing your energy or depleting your energy. And this, see, all of this is about being a successful entrepreneur, because remember I said you and your business are one. So if you're bloated and don't like how you look, or you're beating yourself up, because you need to lose weight, or you don't like how you look in your dress, Tiffany Renee, I'm gonna tell you something. As an entrepreneur, especially as a beautiful woman such as yourself, I've had the experience of having clients who would push off a photo shoot for a book cover because they needed to lose weight. Mm-hmm. They would push off a photo shoot for a speaking engagement, to do this headshot, because they didn't like the way they looked, or their hair, or their nose, or their waistline, or their love handles, or whatever. So this entrepreneurial journey is a holistic approach to having massive success in your life. And you can't leave any parts of you out of this game. You can't leave your health on the shelf and run out here and try to make this money. You can't leave your mindset, your childhood, even your childhood trauma. You can't ignore that anymore, because it's going to show up in your business. It's going to show up in your interactions with people. It's going to show up when you're creating your products and services. It's going to show up in your confidence. So this time freedom and getting your sanity back, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. And I was so excited to, share your story and spend this space and time with you today, Tiffany Renee, because you're at the top of your game. You're sharp. You're definitely a role model for other young entrepreneurs that are coming up. You have multiple talents that you're pursuing, and you have a passion. You're not just out here, like you said, you got tired of chasing money. You're not out here just chasing money. You're driven by the need that you see that people have for financial freedom, time freedom, credit management, and all kinds of beautiful things that build the foundation for success. So give us some final words, whatever it is you would like for the attractive thinkers to focus on when it comes down to time freedom and getting their sanity back, and how they can get in touch with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony, for this platform. It's been a pleasure, speaking with you and your attractive thinker community today. What I can say about getting your time freedom back is basically, what does that look like for you? We always talk about vision parties and vision boards. You got to start getting yourself excited about what does more free time look like for you. What would you do with it? Why do you want it? Why do you need it? How will that help you? How will that help your sanity, right? And so you write those things down and you take action to making those things happen, because they all connect with your why. They all connect with your health. They all connect with your peace. They also all connect with your sanity. At the end of the day, we need to be sane in order to be successful. And so I just want to thank you again. And you guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is at I am Tiffany Renee. That's IAMTIFFANYRENEE. I am Tiffany Renee. You'll see me come up as Coach Tiffany Renee. I'm also on TikTok, Coach Tiffany Renee. Everything is Tiffany Renee. You should be able to find me, as well as Dr. Tony is going to add links where you can also learn more about our platform when it pertains to financial management, helping you with your credit, getting you started in the financial space as an entrepreneur. And any questions you have, I'm definitely open to help you. And more than anything, my bigger vision in all of this is just to help more people define who they are and get to where they want to be on their own terms. I believe and firmly believe in living a life on your own terms. So I just want to say thank you, Dr. Tony, for the time. I'm looking forward to working more closely with you and your attractive thinker community.
Awesome. So am I. Thank you so much. What a beautiful journey that you shared with us today. And attractive thinkers, I trust that it has encouraged you, inspired you, given you the clarity, the fortitude, the drive, and the passion, the thing that you needed to get up and go after it, not like a hobby, but like it's something that you're becoming, that it's who you want to represent in the world. And it's the legacy that you want to leave. It's how you want to show up. I love it, Tiffany, when you say talk about this time freedom, because it allows you to get yourself back and fully express yourself in the earth like we were designed to do. Attractive thinkers, I want you to remember to visit the website, theattractivethinker.guru. There's a free audio there for you on how to turn your problems into your solutions. It's a whole different perspective, and you can apply it just like you hear the phrase, how you do one thing is how you do everything. You can apply it to every area of your life. You always hear us say, our life's work, that's to make your life better. It is not what you're going through. It's how you're viewing it. Think attractively, and we'll see you soon.